Hi, my name's Ian Meredith. I'm the founder and one of the directors of Ethical Addictions Coffee, based in the UK. And we're here on the beautiful Kilimanjaro Machare Farm. How did it all start? Well, back in 2006, two of us, good friends, set out on a bit of an adventure to really drink good coffee but make a difference in the process. That was the heart of what Dave and I tried to do when we set it up. We're both really passionate about enjoying good coffee, but we really cared about where it came from, and we wanted to make a difference to coffee growing communities. So we set out to figure out how we might do that, and that journey left us initially in Tanzania, here on the Machare Farm. This was one of the first farms we ever started with, and as we grew into understanding coffee and we grew into understanding trade, we developed this farm direct concept where we would actually work ourselves direct with the farmers, ensuring that we can take care of the conditions that the workers are in, take care of how they're looking after the environment, check up on those kind of standards and values effectively, and then we would talk price and talk quantity and negotiate ourselves with the farmers and buy direct from them, and then use a series of services and importers to bring that in to the UK so that we can roast and pack and supply our customers. So a key word for the last 12 years for us has been transparency, absolute transparency of the process. With the great revolution of the internet, traceability is quite easy. Being able to trace where did your coffee come from, where did your tea come from, where did your chocolate come from, whatever it is you're buying, lots of things are connected, so you can trace things. But does that really mean you know who grew it, how they were paid, what are they using to grow it, what are their farming practices, how are their families, what's going on? So we really pride ourselves on offering transparency of the whole process. So our customers that are buying our coffee for their coffee shop, for their hotel, for their church, just for themselves at home, they know they're one step away from whoever grew it, and they can not only trust us for that, but they can see and hear the story that goes right the way back to the man or the woman that actually grew and picked the cherries that became their coffee beans that they ground at home or in their coffee shop. We start with the quality of the coffee. If we can find someone that's doing good enough coffee, is it as good as it can be? Can we work with them to make it better? That might be it, but is it good enough for us to work with? And follow that relationship. And then we start to check out the standards. How are they looking after the environment? How are they looking after their workers? Or if it's a real smallholder, how are they looking after the rest of their community? And then we've got to go to practical logistics. Have we got a way to get it from the farm through the exports process and onto a ship that eventually ends up in the UK with us and the roastery? So the list of questions is enormous, as you can imagine, but it starts with relationship, and the next few steps are they doing the right things by the standards we really value, and have they got the quality that we can work with? And if they tick those two boxes, then we really push into that relationship to see if we can make it work. Often coffee, every single bean is sold 7, 10, 15 times before it ends up in your cup at home. And so what we've really done is we've gone right back to the origin. We've removed 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people out of that chain that are all taking a profit margin. We've not taken jobs from people that really need it. We're really talking about traders. We still need a boat, so we pay the service to the boat, the shipment guys. We pay the service to all the paperwork guys. That's fine. We're not taking jobs away. We're just removing unnecessary links of the chain. And instead of swallowing all that extra profit and taking that to ourselves, what we do is we take those extra little margins and we push them right the bay back down to the origin, so that the farmer here in Tanzania, the smallholder, the villager here in Tanzania, the villager in maybe one of the regions of Brazil that we work with, they get a much larger share of the. And the beauty of that model is that when it gets to the UK, we're ultimately overall, we as Ethical Addictions are paying the same price for the coffee as we would if we bought it through traditional means through a trader. So ultimately, when it comes to Ethical Addictions customers supporting us and therefore supporting the farms, it doesn't have to cost a massive amount more to you, because you're getting, we're doing all the hard work and making sure that it's getting back to where it rightly deserves. We've spent the last 2 days wandering around the farm and seeing how hard the workers work here, seeing the intricacies of the process, seeing how much care is taken over every stage to make sure the quality is there. These guys work really hard to make us amazing coffee. They deserve to be paid really well. We've tried to disrupt the supply chain and do things differently. And then ultimately what we do is we reinvest those profits that we do make as a company back into the farms. Now, some of that is investment into equipment or processes so that they can further improve their coffee, which further improves their price, which further improves their livelihoods. Some of that is slightly more charitable things where we're investing, like we did last year, where we put water pipes into 137 families in the Muweka village, where I myself was here digging the final 3 pipes that would connect the final 3 taps. I guess what I'm saying is when we talk about ethical business and ethical coffee, we are talking truly farm to cup, the whole process, the whole DNA of who we are as people, the whole DNA of who we are as a company. We started off from day one, before we were making money, before we were making profit, of giving away and reinvesting in farmers and communities, because we wanted that to actually be integral to who we are as a company. And we've continued to do that. And thankfully, they've become bigger and better and more impactful projects. And we really just hope that that continues. One of the things that's always struck us is here on the Machare Farm, how much it's just integrated into their farming practices to not use chemicals, to preserve water. The farm manager here has managed to reduce water usage by 97% since she took over. How they insist on every plot of land here where they're farming to be shade-grown coffee. Shade-grown is really integral to the natural habitat, so that we're not destroying precious space for species and animals to live. It doesn't particularly do anything for the coffee, but it's fantastic for the biodiversity and the environment. And then back home, being environmentally conscious is fundamental to who we are as a company. It's in us as individuals and it's in us collectively, and we're working towards all sorts of new ideas in the future. When I see another group of villagers that we could actually genuinely help, we can encourage them to grow better coffee, we can multiply their income into their families, I suddenly get all excited about, oh, let's help them as well. And you can be part of that. If you're thinking about becoming an EA customer just at home, or you're thinking about becoming an EA customer as a coffee shop, come and be part of this. It's great fun and you can make a real difference. So get in touch if you want to know more.